yeah, he'll jump away with Cassidy, and I don't think Alex will like it when he jumps away. He wants to nice and close so he can one more combo him to death.
While we're talking about Katowice, I forgot to mention this earlier on. The winner of this game, the winner of the Intel Extreme Masters Cologne Pro tournament, will receive a direct invite for the Intel Extreme Masters World Championships, which will be at the Spodek in Katowice once again. A fantastic stadium that was incredibly full and amazing last time around. So if you're in the area, you should definitely check that out. Karma was a final ban here, actually, for Gambit. We've seen that being played, actually, by both teams, funnily enough. I didn't think that I'd be saying much about that from Karma. At least the final ban along with Annie from Fnatic, and the picks are coming quick, so let's run through them. They left Shyvana up, and we're gonna see that here for Gambit this time around. Renekton and Aatrox this time, though, going over to Fnatic.
Yeah, and just it shows like Shyvana is such a contested pick. I'm not too sold. Maybe Fnatic will have a way to deal with it. They do get the Renekton really strong dual champion early, as well as Aatrox on Cyanide's really good at. He showed that at Worlds. He's just a real phenomenal player, and he's like more carry style junglers. I didn't like the Nocturne. I like what Cyanide does with Aatrox. Combine that with Renekton, they might even go for like stun and knock up combos, and they may be able to break the pacing that Gambit was doing last game in the early game.
Well, we'll see how it works out. Lee Sin available. We'll see where the Diamond goes with that. He did pull it out earlier today, which was great to see in itself, up against Cloud9, against Meteos.
Might even just go for Shyvana jungle. Throwback a year ago, he was playing it. Leaves Darien with another
Get
tank.
Gangplank back in there. Might as well pull Ash out as well. Just get them all.
I still remember the Darien Gangplank, which was not quite as successful. 0-5 in like 10 minutes because he kept teleporting back to lane. But who knows, like the new revamped Darien might actually just pull it off.
No, next pick's coming up.
Proxy
Darien, no problem for him.
I would like Singed on Darien rather. I would like to see how that one goes.
Well, it's going to be a thing of the past once 3.14 gets in, that's for sure. We're not going to see any more of this farming between lane business. That's what I'm feeling anyway. But Thresh and Lucian coming in. Flavor of the month, Lucian, so far. And that's something Xenon the Stoic will be happy with. It's a champion that he designed himself. Speaking of that combo earlier on, Ashe Zyra.
Yeah, pretty much forced into that combo. Annie being out of there. There's definitely a Sona still there. Roughly the same as Sona, Zyra, both provide poke and AoE ultimates. Not really quite can go for Leona. Not too easy to play against Shyvana, not too easy to play against Lucian. Thresh, not a lane counter, but is able to cancel the Zenith Blade from Leona. Basically being forced into Zyra for sure. And then yeah, any long generic ranged AD to fit with that. Zyra Caitlyn, Zyra Ashe does well. Zyra Caitlyn a little more siege potential. Zyra Ashe the classical utility combo actually coming over from Korea and NA. I know Cloud9 played that a lot in their split.
Speaking of Korea and NA, we've not really seen Nunu at all this weekend, yet he's pretty much the non-stop pick.
Hercule bot.
Yeah, we saw him once at Hercule, but we actually, or twice even, but we barely saw him. I mean, let's face it, man, he was picked, but he wasn't having the biggest impact in that game. And we could definitely see the weaknesses of Nunu, and you need to exploit that with a Caitlyn. And the only time it was really affected, I believe, was when it was combined with 80 attack speed steroid combined with a needle heal for giving massive damage or massive attack speed damage output on those turrets with the Caitlyn, but we can't really see that in this composition.
So let's have a look then for Gambit. It's not going to be Teemo. Oh, Edward, how I've missed you.
There's some parts we like and some parts,
Could do with a fully revamped Edward. He's still got some of his traits that he left us with. Ziggs, will that be picked up here for Alex? Evelyn as well, so it's going to be Evelyn jungle here for Gambit. With obviously Darien taking that Shyvana in the top lane, and we're going to see Alex H playing the Ziggs.
Unless, yeah, I think that's a right assessment, unless Diamond just learned how to Zig jungle, and we see even Midden and Shyvana top, but I doubt that. But I wouldn't put it past him. I mean, AoE for the camps, I mean, that all makes sense.
That is a pretty hard counter to Ziggs in the mid, if Fizz does get picked in there.
If it comes to a straight duel, yeah, I agree, because the damage output immediately and being able to jump around. We did see, however, how xPeke manhandled Alex Ish early in that game. Continuous harass coming out, and I mean, the Fizz only has a jump every so often, so you can only dodge one bomb, but like Alex in this case will be throwing out about 3 or 4 at him every time, so 1 out of 4 is not enough to stay alive.
Thinking about the straight counter, whizzing through a bunch of champions here. We'll see how that works out. But Evelyn's been banned away from Diamond the majority of this tournament. This is a jungler that he was known for, God, way back in Season 2 finals, semi-finals up against Taipei Assassins.
Yeah, he does either really well with him, or sometimes he misses the synchronization with his team. I remember us playing against, I think it was European regional. Actually, it wasn't the regionals, it was in the end of LCS. He would flank us a little too early, would catch him out, and then turn on the rest of his team. But this is a different Gambit showing up. They have really great synergy, and with that, imagine there's a Shyvana lurking on your left, an Evelynn on your right, and they're both jumping in at the same time. AoE knockback, AoE slow. You're already down to half HP, and there's only 2 people in the fight. So definitely a very, very menacing combo. Add a few bombs to that, and I don't even think Genja has to play anymore.
Yeah, final choice for Fnatic, leaving that mid player, that mid champion to last, picking up Darien. This is the changed Ari as well. We should probably mention as well, with the damage amplification on the charm.
Yeah, definitely Ari being more reliant on landing that charm. For people that don't know, she gets increased damage if she lands a charm on all her magic abilities rather, and it basically forces Ari not to be just an assassin. Try and land a charm. If it works, I'll kill him. Otherwise, I'll kill him anyways. It's definitely more relied on that charm. But we've seen Peke. I mean, if anybody's gonna land these skill shots, it's probably him.
Well, we're going to find out here. We can see that Diamond just looks startled by something. Not sure what that was all about, but he's going to be playing the Evelynn, and we actually saw against Cloud9, they banned Evelynn in both games against him. Or in 3 games, actually, it was, because it finished 2-1.
Yeah, definitely respectable opponent. It's really hard to play against an Evelynn. I mean, you have to change the entire mindset of the team. It's no longer just the same start, even in items. Speaking as a support, pink wards go up in value against an Eve, because only green wards are efficient if you place them on the camps and see Eve doing them and then rotating away from them, or very near to camps when she's still not invisible. Otherwise, pink wards is what you need.
And actually seeing Eddie talking pretty heavily with the team there, I remember speaking to, say, Spontex, etc., when they moved into that team, basically saying how Gambit effectively don't have tactics going into a game. You guys, do you have like a set plan against these teams? Or is it like Gambit, they just react to the situation?
It varies. Sometimes you think you really need a set at level 1, or you have a few possibilities. Against Gambit, for example, if you know that they like doing the Genja Eddie thing, or the Genja and support thing, actually last season, where they would 2-man contest the buff, you could counter it or predict it. For example, against those teams that fall into patterns, you can adjust to level 1, but they might just shift out of the pattern. But it looks like they're going in with 5 people here.
Not messing around, are they? Fnatic moving straight into that
got the ward.
They have to use a pink ward in the end for that one, though.
But still fine, because they're playing against Evelynn. It still adds some value, and it even allows Peke to be safe against the Evelynn.
YellowStar here just getting a ward off towards that blue buff bush as well, and with that they are going to back straight away back out of things.
And no pink ward on Eddie's side. You'd usually expect Gambit to at least carry 1 to counter ward whatever you place in their jungle, especially when they're playing with Eve. You can expect pink wards coming out, and a pink for a pink is always worth it when you're playing Evelynn.
And speaking of starts, Diamond starting with a brilliant spot.
Yeah, he's been actually known to do that on Evelynn, but he got caught.
Oh, he's dead.
Oh, he might actually need it as well. He's going to go down. It's actually Ash that picks that one up. Great start here for Fnatic. Rekkles picking up that first kill, and he seemed a little bit startled there, Diamond. Caught from around the corner, and that is not what they had in mind here for level 1.
That's what it was. That's what the reaction was. He sees 2 minutes in advance, and he was like, oh, I've been caught.
Well, if he knew, he probably wouldn't have gone there. But maybe he saw himself caught in another life, in another different place. I actually have no idea what went through him. Maybe he thought Fnatic would be starting on his blue buff, and Evelynn is very reliant on a blue buff, especially with that Brilliance Potion, as you guys pointed out. It basically makes it almost binary. He needs 1 out of 2 blue buffs on the map.
Oh. Well, here we go. Gambit starting off the blue buff. Blue buff has already been picked up by Cyanide as well down this bottom lane. It is going to be the duo lanes both up against each other in this bottom lane. And what do we see? I mean, this is the Zyrash is a classic combo we've seen. Lucian, Thresh, fairly new.
Yeah, well, basically, the problem is Lucian and Thresh get early to lane. Lucian has insane push potential just because popping 1 Q can annihilate a wave, but put against that YellowStar and Rekkles on the Ash Zyra combo, insane push potential as well. Both waves will just get blown up immediately, and I think actually I'm giving it to Fnatic first to hit level 2 and start poking out.
Yeah, that longsword actually added in after that first blood went the way of Rekkles there. At the early levels, kill onto Diamond, always a nice start for them. Diamond has since recovered from that early game knock though, and he's well on his way on his jungle path at this point, on his red buff already. This top lane, Darien versus Soaz. Shyvana here for Darien, a champion which pretty much they rose to fame with back in the old days as Moscow 5, you know. We'll see how his play style with the Shyvana has changed over the time.
Yeah, definitely will interesting to see that evolution. But if you look at what actually Fnatic did on the map early, they spent so many wards trying to scout for the jungle. They left with 0 wards on bottom against an invisible Eve that they knew that started on blue. Blue into red, where do you go? You go bottom. Even though they had the push advantage, they've been pacing around near their tower for about 35 seconds now. I've been monitoring. They can't even CS just because that's how much pressure Eve is putting onto you, and that's why you need those pink wards across the map. Look, they can't even get the CS. Diamond is just poking in the bottom, and this gives Cyanide, well, he needs to make a play, but Alex just playing safe.
Speaking of making plays, Rekkles goes down. Genja was caught out there. Sorry, picks up the kill, and that was Diamond going in. Didn't quite catch the start of it because, well, we saw Cyanide going in. They're going to go on towards YellowStar as well. The xPeke's doing work. Have they got enough to try and catch on towards him? Cyanide will come in. One more xPeke will come out. Diamond gets it with the red.
I think Cyanide actually killed his support there by basically letting the xPeke cross through, because no way Diamond was in a range there. Nice attempt zoning him out, but it doesn't work. Really well played, and knowing the limits of his champion by Diamond there. And even though we saw them pacing back and forth from bottom, knowing Eve could come, it was just not enough to prevent the death. Rekkles actually died with barrier still up. I wonder if that was perhaps like the pressure getting to him. That probably he should have used that in this case.
You definitely expect that, and we see now them coming back down into this bottom lane. Aatrox, obviously Cyanide will be joining in from that one as well. They want to make sure that they're safe down there.
And Rekkles' flash is still down from level 1, and you often see that. Yeah, sure, you get that first blood and you get far ahead and it was nice and dandy, but then you notice like you burn summoners, and this is a great team like Gambit. They will punish you for burning those summoners. Probably Diamond even just flashed on him and killed him.
Oh, wow. That satchel, absolutely perfect. Knocks him right into Diamond. They make short work of that one. They have to invest in pink wards. They need that vision of Diamond.
Yeah, I mean, Diamond gets first blood. You know what he gets? He just gets angry and he starts ganking you even harder.
The problem is everything that blue pot is now paid for itself. Diamond has got first blood, 2 assists. He's suddenly going to go back and go, thanks guys, I am rolling now on Ev. And that's the only thing you can stop with Evelynn. You just stop him get going and you're generally going to win the game. But when Evelynn gets going, it's scary.
He's approaching level 6 very soon. As I say that, he pings level 6 already. Rekkles is still level 3. Zyra is still level 3. What the hell is Diamond doing this game?
Oh, look at that. The pink ward in the bottom brush just timed out. As Diamond comes down there's no pink ward in that bottom brush. There's one in the top side, and Cyanide is actually coming in from this one. We're going to see Diamond getting involved in this one. YellowStar going very, very low. Where is the ultimate hour? Diamond is going to put down so much damage. It's a double kill in the end for Genja. They're going to keep going. Flash from Genja. Not quite what they were looking for in the end, but it's a 2-for-1.
And this could have gone even better. I bet Edward is basically hating on Diamond a little bit because he didn't click the lantern. And if you don't click the lantern, the shield's not going to come to Thresh. One of the most annoying parts of playing Thresh. But it doesn't matter. 2-for-1. And even forcing the last member out of lane. Gambit in full control of this game.
Diamond is scary right now. He's actually the highest level on the board. He's about to hit 7 when he comes out as well. Alexic and Peke just about trying to keep up. Speaking of level 6, Alexic has hit that as well. And you can see he's actually zoning Peke back a little bit on Ari.
And yeah, he's putting so much pressure in mid, and his jungle is basically filling the gap. If you have so much pressure in mid, jungle can focus on top and on bottom, and he's basically annihilating bottom lane every chance he gets. And this is just beautiful pressure play coming out of the Gambit lineup. And I don't even know what Fnatic is going to do. Already a 2k gold deficit.
Yeah, and the scary thing as well for the likes of Peke in that mid lane is just the threat of having an Evelynn that's doing so well. Yeah, you've got one pink ward down, but one pink ward is not going to be able to spot you every single time out from this. And we see it again, Diamond using pink wards of his own to make sure that his paths are clear.
I mean, Eddie's flash is coming up. They have 2 pink wards. Yeah, if Eve walks into the lane, they can see her coming. But this time, if he throws out the lantern, walks into max leash range, lantern pops and Eddie flashes forward and then Eve flashes forward. That's like a double entire lane distance they can cover in 1 second, and pink wards are not even going to help you against that. Genja goes in for a trade.
Genja trading with YellowStar is going to poke. Look at that, they're both lane. That's got to be a juicy target for surely Alexic. He's coming down already. He's got that mega bomb. They're also going for the blue as well, just off to the side. They have a pink ward on the blue as well, so they know exactly what has happened. Alex is waiting with that bomb. He's thrown it too early. They pulled out just at the right time.
And actually, it's not over just yet. Diamond actually moving up towards that one. Oh, he gets caught by the charm there, and that's half of his health gone already. Oh, missed there by Peke, trying to get himself over the wall.
Yeah, definitely good pressure coming out from Gambit here again. They're forcing them up.
The pair of you, honestly, it's like working with children. This is what I got to work with, ladies and gentlemen. This is what I've got to work with. They're both in fits of laughter right now. Gambit right now, though, are 2,000 gold in the lead. 5-2 in kills and 1-1-4 for Diamond. 3-0-1. Get a grip, Lane. Get a grip, people.
So Diamond coming in here. Ultimate actually using YellowStar's dead. He's not going to escape that one. Flay comes onto Rekkles as well. He's going to fall. And where's the kill actually going to come in? Diamond taking a lot of damage, but Genja gets that one. That's another 2 kills. Cyanide coming around, but he's not got a chance to get in there to finish off.
Good guy Diamond sharing the spoils of war with Genja. 4-0-2, and you know what? He invested in 3 Dorans. I mean, many things have changed in Gambit, but Genja's still the same.
Genja is still the same. Bomb's still coming through. Peke, how are you going to sidestep this one? The super mega explosive massive range. The bomb is not available. Instead, Peke is going to turn it back around. He's got the ignite taking it. Will take down Alex Ich.
That's the only thing he can do, flash forward and just kill him, because it uses all of his lost cooldowns and really good turnaround.
Cyanide comes out the blood well. He's going to go down. One more shot. But no! Eddie flashes for it, steals it. Peke goes down to Diamond. This is just rolling into destruction derby from Gambit.
And as that happened, Genja was almost near the brink of death, and just Edward saved him with a lantern and got him out of there. Else YellowStar would have closed him and killed him. Really good team play there on bottom. Eddie and Genja refining that synergy once again.
Look at Darien as well. This is Darien of old with this Shyvana, moving into the enemy jungle whilst in this top lane. Soaz is actually on his turret hammering away, but he'll be quite fine with that. He's picked up the red buff, and now he can put down some real pressure on towards Soaz. He's got a Vamp Scepter in there for the sustain. Ultimate used out of Soaz. Nice force there from Darien. They may lose, well, they're not going to lose this bottom turret, but there's going to be a lot of damage coming out onto it.
Yeah, but look, every step Rekkles takes, he's taking one back as well, because he's so scared of Eve randomly showing up. I mean, they have to respect the zone. They might get that tower, but it's too little too late, probably.
4-0-3 Genja. He's gone back to that triple Doran's blade, and because of that early, I guess he wants to keep this advantage going that they've already been building themselves up.
I mean, all it takes, a good CC combo might be good for Fnatic here.
Oh, you were thinking Darien's back to normal. Is he back to feeding? No, because he can walk away from this one. He's already at level 9. I want a quick mention for Gambit here. We've been talking about MVP, who's building it up. Darien's been playing fantastic. Genja's been playing fantastic. Diamond has played stunning every single game, and again, he's at 3-1-5.
Yeah, Fnatic still stands a small chance if they survive these repetitive ganks coming out, but I'm not even sure if they can.
No, I see there, Diamond using his ultimate in there. Alex actually going aggressive from this one. Slow goes down. Has he got the damage to finish things off? Not really at this point. Got the workings of that Athene's Unholy Grail and decides not to use his ultimate moving forward. But since Diamond is actually still hanging around there, they might go for a second lock in on Peke.
We've seen Gambit get too overconfident and overreaching in the past with this amount of lead. And Fnatic is definitely a team that can punish it. If Peke gets rolling with Ahri, he can start assassinating people. So he's not entirely over, but they're definitely in control of this game. Look how scared Rekkles is. He has to pace back and forward constantly, not even controlling the lane.
I'd be scared of Eddie as well, honestly. He's on Thresh. He's throwing out those hooks. He's not going to land it, though. Rekkles flashed at the right time. His tower is so low in that bottom lane. You can see Cyanide already heading back down there. Darien is toying with Soaz now. Darien is a scary beast when he's this confident.
The difference between this game and the last one was at least that actually Cyanide is putting a lot of pressure. He's left and right attempting to counter gang.
Oh, this could be bad news in the bottom lane. Genja going to get locked up by everything they can throw. Oh, he took the lantern, but this time it wasn't enough. The ignite, I think it was in the end. No, it wasn't. It was Rekkles auto attack that killed him, but Diamond's coming down. Where's the ulti coming in? There's a bomb from Ziggs. Diamond picks up the kill anyway, and they're going to keep the pressure. Cyanide low. YellowStar's dead. He's not going to escape that. Alex with the last hop of that water balloon going to get the kill. And they lose one man, but they pick up 2 for the price at the same time.
And this is what you guys were saying earlier about the Ziggs. He's roaming from mid lane to the other lane, sacrificing tower HP, but turning a kill around. And basically, he got torn apart. There's Ziggs bomb landing at the same time as the hook connected, and really well played by Gambit. And at the same time, from top lane, Darien's rotating mid, and even doing really mean stuff to xPeke.
Dude, some serious mean stuff. Peke's realizing the situation. He may be able to throw the charm out, but he's just buying time for his team. They're going to drag. The Ignite's got him. The Ignite has got him. Darien comes around, gets himself an easy kill.
Fnatic are flustered here. Everything that could possibly be going wrong for them after getting first blood at level 1, which is probably the best thing that can go right for you.
Unless you piss off Diamond.
Yeah, well, that's it. You've angered him. You've angered him now.
And now what do you do? I mean, Genja's back in top, split pushing to his merry own self like he used to. I don't know where Eddie's gonna go. Is he gonna refine his AD carry, or is he gonna roam with the rest of his team?
Well, We heard Rekkles earlier in the interview saying that Genja is the best AD carry in Europe, whether he meant it or not. It is a 4-1-4 score from Genja once again. He had a fantastic first game, fantastic second game once again, and Gambit, this is a return to former glory right now. Here at the Intel Extreme Masters in Cologne, they are smashing the opposition. They destroyed Cloud9 earlier on, and Fnatic, well, it's going to be all over again. Rekkles, you're not getting out of this one. The hook will be dodged, but frankly, there's too much damage now coming out from Gambit.
If only Zyra had a lantern.
Yeah, he could do with probably a little bit more, like 4 summoner spells, barriers that he could put on his own team. Yeah, just not going well here. After game number 1, we saw the tweet from Carmack earlier saying Fnatic look rattled, and it doesn't, the break in between games doesn't seem to have, number 1, slowed Gambit down or really gained that much confidence back after. I thought it was going to be different after getting that first blood in there, but it just hasn't.
And usually if you look at the stats, the first team to get the first tower and the first kill in the game generally does really well, one would say, but yeah, obviously not against the Russians.
Edward down in the bottom lane, he's gonna die from this one, or is he? No, he's not. Cyanide gets a Bloodwell pop. Here comes Diamond. Cyanide is a dead man. He will fall to that one, and now they chase in Genja, rooted under the tower. He's got enough. Yeah, one hit would have done that one, as xPeke and Alex going to go head-to-head. The charm actually landing, both down to about half HP. But xPeke's got no mana left here. Alex has not got his ultimate available. That was used earlier on. There's low health pings going somewhere on the map. Yeah, xPeke is probably dead from this one. Misses the charm. Flash over the wall from Diamond. That's another one. 7-1-6.
Wow.
Synergy casting right there. One man is not enough to describe the awe that we feel for Diamond Pucks right now. He's playing so damn well.
It's an awe that Meteos felt earlier on, and you know, he's had his praises sung in North America, but right now Diamond, this is a Diamond of old right now, and it's just, this is a return to former glory. I feel that they needed those couple of months apart to realize the amazing synergy that Gambit have got when Eddie rejoins there. They just seem to be all playing, having fun.
Oh, top lane, actually Soaz going in, and forget that, because in the bottom lane, Diamond is killing Rekkles.
It's something you hate as an AD carry, as an Evelyn appears. An 8-1-6 Evelyn, there's just nothing you can do about it.
Almost no counterplay, and it's actually really nice to see Diamond playing so well. He's on the top of his game, and I can't wait how to see that transition into the next patch that is coming out. Jungle completely revamped, and who do you want shaping the meta game that is the jungle than a Diamond proxy in full form?
Yeah, probably the most innovative jungler out there. Perfect for him. It's xPeke just dodging that hook as Edward comes in from the side. This is going to be a turret takedown soon, at least. Maybe not with this wave, but they will be taking that one before long. Cyanide actually coming in. They're going to try and make a play onto Genja and Alex. It's Soaz coming down as well. They're going to try and manhandle these two, as Alex actually going in, realizes all of a sudden, okay, I'm in trouble from this one. He's going to go down with Cyanide picking up the kill.
I'm dead, press R. That was simply all that was. There's no way to analyze that one. The culling is available for Genja if he needs it. He has got the entire team coming on towards him. Can he get out? But Diamond comes in. Will he be able to land that ultimate, get himself a big shield? He can turn this one back around. You can see Eddie coming in. He's feeling fancy in his chances. Throws out the hook. Doesn't line anyone. Darien comes in around the side. It's a pincer move, but it's a pincer move that may be successful. xPeke's burning. He's going down. Next target's going to be Cyanide. Jumps away. Good grasping route from YellowStar. That's going to stop the attack dead.
We see about 23 kills in this game already, and 1-1 into turrets. Always something crazy when Gambit plays.
They're going between turrets now.
Are we going to see this one or not? Because we're going to see Soaz in sorts of trouble. Genja managing to catch on towards Soaz. Where are you going to run, lads? You're not going to be able to get away from this one. Rekkles is going to get focused on by Genja. That's actually been a pretty close fight, but Soaz, he's in all sorts of trouble. It's not close when Diamond comes along, that's for sure. 9-1-7. Shyvana ultimate across. Soaz is going to go down. There's not even a lantern for you because it's Eddie coming in to get the kill.
And you have to pity the poor camera guy having to follow this, because Gambit is just killing them.
I have no pity for Unso. What do you mean? He's done this all year.
Gambit is killing them so quick that it almost leaves no time to switch the screen, and we're basically going from one gray screen to another because Fnatic is dropping like flies.
This is, I used the word massacre for game number 1, and
well, what do you do
I might have to bust something else out for this one because it needs an adjective so strong again, as we see the bomb coming into middle. xPeke loses half of his health, and guess what? Rest of the team are here. There's Diamond focusing in on towards Cyanide. He's going to jump over the wall, but Diamond pops a W, gets slowed down, but he's going to keep chasing on through. xPeke using his ultimate here to escape. Cyanide's flashed over into the blue buff, and now YellowStar, you might feel safe on that turret, but I guarantee you're not.
Look at Diamond, he's gone straight, he really wanted that kill, he's hunting for it. The middle tower is in all sorts of perilous trouble.
Rekkles.
Oh, Rekkles. Oh, Rekkles, you may have had a great duel with Doublelift earlier, but you're not winning the fight with Diamond. That's for damn sure. He's going to be 2-8-1, Rekkles now, because Diamond 10-1-7.
By that logic, Diamond confirmed for best AD carry.
Double best AD carry worlds, that's for sure. Look at this in the middle, boom! Another headshot comes in. YellowStar rattled as he bounces around the base.
At this point, the only place where Fnatic is safe is their own fountain, and I'm not even too sure about that one anymore.
I'm not sure either. Cyanide here underneath the inhibitor turret. He's getting back up on a box, and he's going straight back down 6 foot under in a box. There's the turret going to be focused in from this one. The inhibitor itself's going to go down. Gambit might win this before Fnatic even have a chance to surrender.
Yeah, this is a 19-minute game. You can't analyze that, Crepo. I'm not going to let you talk, because simply put, this is a just, I don't know, genocide maybe is probably the only word I can feel for it, because frankly, they are 12,000 gold ahead. 20 minutes not even approached yet, and there's no way of ever coming back from this game.
And I was about to say, what's left to analyze here? I think my job here is done.
So Crepo,
My work here is done.
in this scenario, how do you come back?
How do you come back?
Another
week.
Is there an actual possibility for Gambit any way to come back in this?
I mean,
for Fnatic, sorry.
yeah, Gambit is probably coming back in this game, I believe. But yeah, I'd like to say yes.
The culling still does nothing, even when you're fed. Confirmed by Genja. Even though he's 7-1-7, Soaz didn't even feel the need to pop Dominus. Finally, he'll go down to basic attacks.
On a serious note, Gambit is all relatively squishy except for Darien. If they manage to go and send him in 1x5, 1x1 until the 5 men are dead, yeah, maybe. But even then, I think Fnatic is going to burn through. This is just Gambit being too strong today.
Yeah, they are a country mile ahead of this one. We've just hit 20 minutes, and there's a 11,500 gold lead. And look at Diamond. He's got that Oracle on him here. So not only is he being an annoyance, he's clearing out your wards as you go. Not that YellowStar really has many to put down at this point. That's how far they are behind.
Yeah. He was on his own there against Peke, and he was throwing out the hook. He's like, don't worry, guys, I've got this.
Oh, they're going in again. Look at this. Diamond getting pulled over by the Lantern, and Cyanide is going to jump on top of Darien.
Got cancelled there.
And he's dead.
Yep, he's dead. Alex is coming around on towards Peke as well. Peke with no mana is just going to have to escape this one. Top turret's gone down to Genja. Alex using the pack to launch himself in there. Diamond finds him, has to use his Spirit Rush to get away, and dodges straight in towards the
Pick
bomb.
your poison. Who are you going to kill?
Well, it's Rekkles again finding Diamond. Oh, can he run? Can he run? He used the ultimate. He's going to get away with this one, I feel. He's finally going to escape.
Oh.
YellowStar isn't. No, Darien gets himself a kill. They are toying with the opposition. They've come into this tournament with big smiles on their faces. Nobody, but nobody has even got close to stopping them. We saw them against the Red. We thought maybe that's just the Red. They're up against a team that's weaker. They came up against Cloud9. They went 2-0 again. They're up against Fnatic. It's another demolition, another 2-0.
I don't think anybody has told Gambit there is no prize for most KDA until they refuse to finish the game and just kill Fnatic over and over and over. Darien showing his best dance moves there, and yeah. I mean, I'd like to analyze this game further on, but I think my work here is done.
He's tanking the entire team and not even got his hands on the keyboard. That's not good. That's not good at all. And it is going to be 29-5, Joe.
Yeah.
What a performance Gambit have put in. We shouldn't really have questioned. It's Gambit and Intel Extreme Masters.
Yeah, they are the masters of the Intel Extreme Masters, and they are going to take down the first Nexus. Sorry, can't see Fnatic being able to stop them here. I think Gambit will stop themselves to hunt for kills at this point rather than Fnatic stopping that happen. 6-0-3 from the top lane, 11-1-10 out of the jungle. The Nexus is already down to half HP, but they want more kills. The bomb goes over towards the fountain. Alex trying to keep them out there, but it is finished, and Gambit Gaming win the Intel Extreme Masters Cologne in 2 very one-sided games here in this final best of 3. This one ending 30-5 in kills. The gold is not even close. Turrets, of course, aren't close either. Well, let's just run down the scoreboard here for Gambit because they deserve this. 6-0-3 for Darien.
0 deaths.
0 deaths. Again, 0 deaths again for Darien.
It's the anti-Darien we're seeing here.
I think they found a double that's just as good at the game and brought him in for this. He's still got this. He'll always have that. 11-1-10 Diamond procs. proving to us why Cloud9 maybe banned that Evelyn out against him, not wanting to deal with that. Alex had a relatively quiet game, all things said. 3-2-6, 8-1-7 for Genja, who's seemed to have reinvented his playstyle, his positioning, everything. He's looked like a much improved AD carry this game, and this tournament, I should really say. And Edward back on European soil with his old mates in Gambit. First tournament together, first win under their belt. He played 2-1-15 on the Thresh. Overall, Gambit, stunning.
Edward back, Gambit back. What do you know? They have a couple of weeks rest after Worlds, after all the LCS season, and they just perform
Immaculate.
immaculate is the word I was after. Thank you very much, Greppo.
I just wonder, like, if they can keep drawing this line further into the LCS, or whether they will have the recurring issues again with all the travel. But I sure hope so, because this Gambit is looking really strong and just showed why they went to Worlds twice in a row, and they're just top-notch team.
They are actually the most successful European team. That is a fact. They have won countless tournaments. You know, there's a lot of teams, and I hate to say this, have got second places, third places.
Why do you hate to say that?
But Gambit have
don't know
won
what you're
a
talking
lot
about.
of tournaments, that's for sure. Don't worry, guys. You'll always have DreamHack.
Exactly. The one moment.
The one moment.
But this is the Gambit that dominated that, you know, this is the kind of dominance that they showed throughout that one. I mean, I did not expect to see this.
Nobody
out of
did.
them.
No.
Let's face it.
No.
Who did? And anybody that did was probably just overshooting like their reach, because how can you predict this? Yes, Fnatic didn't practice it hard, and then maybe an excuse, or maybe it can't be used to diminish the performance Gambit pushed out here. Like, great synergy. We saw a great Gambit of old in some aspect, but we also saw a Gambit of new. Like, way better synergy between Genja and Edward, and way better play by Genja overall, way better map awareness. He wasn't just being that Ashe again that was split pushing all of a sudden on the top lane. No, he was where he had to be, played his fights correct, waited until his moment. Remember the 4v2, like, Genja, like, show going on in that match against Cloud9, and he just played so well.
Yeah, I mean, look at who they've beat. Fnatic, who were, you know, spring and summer split champions.
And at World Finals.
Cloud9, who dominated North America, or also at World Finals, they ended up knocking each other out. Like, this is, I'm sure Gambit are like, why did we ever let Eddie go? Why did we let that go in the first place? Maybe they needed that. Maybe that break that they've had has brought them back together with a completely new fire burning inside them to win more tournaments.
You need to let go to realize what you're missing, Joe.
Well, that's exactly what Genja said. You know, he said it in a tweet himself. It's like,
Maybe I need
realize you've got to treat your support well, and suddenly they've adapted the play. And Edward, when he came back, he said, you know, the problems that were there have gone away. Is it Genja's aggression?
I think that's a lesson we can learn, and I think that's just the closing
Look after
note.
your supports.
Look after your support, guys. Treat them nicely, like make them pancakes or whatever you want. Mine with syrup, please. And yeah, that's basically what you need to do.
Well, a fantastic performance. $18,500 here for Gambit. Not a bad weekend out for them. I mean, two incredible wins, three incredible wins, technically, because they beat the Red in game number one. And that was our real big question after seeing that was the Red just an opponent that couldn't technically match Gambit on all fronts? But honestly, the game against the Red was closer.
Probably the closest, to be honest. Cloud9 came a little bit close, but I think the Red, I think it was game one, was probably the closest game that Gambit actually had, and that maybe just be the shaky start of the tournament, first game in a while on LAN, I don't know.
Well, that's always been Gambit's way to go, right?
Yeah.
Day one, you almost
That's
get
when you
knocked
always
out
want to
in the
play
group
them.
stage.
Yeah, the first one, but it shows just, I think Gambit has more convincing wins the more respect they have for their opponent. With this Diamond proxy was no nonsense. I mean, you kill me?
Yeah.
Really? You're going to go that way? I'll put my brilliant spot and just kill you back.
Married life and rest seems to be working well for Diamond.
Stunning Gambit performance this weekend, that's for sure. And we're going to hear from them. We've got Sean